close up, close up, close up, close up, close up whisper and chit chat with you all. I just want to keep this video really, really informal, because I feel like you guys deserve to get to know me just a little bit better at this point. I think the last time I really talked about myself was, well, when I did my first video and when I talked about my plants in my apartment, but I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be talking about today, but I feel like I'll come up with something. So, before we begin, I want to light a candle that I got. This candle is from Target. It is, let me see, let me get the label the correct way. It's the charcoal and black teak candle. It says with notes of birch and lavender. It smells kind of like the old, well, I don't know if it's old because I don't know if they still manufacture it, but it smells like the cologne from Abercrombie. So it smells good to me, but I think it's also kind of like a nostalgic smell almost. But I'm gonna go ahead and light it. And the lighter that I have is this big lighter. You can't even really see that, sorry. There you go. And I literally only use these lighters for lighting candles. I have them scattered everywhere around my apartment. And everyone always gets the wrong idea, but I promise they're just for candles. So, let me go ahead, and I'm just gonna light one of them because I don't want to burn my apartment down. Doing this on camera is kind of difficult because I have a microphone arm in the way. I lied, I actually lit 2 of them. It's kind of gross in there. My apologies. Just gonna leave that next to me. Just pretend that it's there. So, where do I even begin? Oh, actually, do you know what I also want to do? I'm going to try out new chapstick. So usually I use the moisturizing chapstick, and I don't know if you guys are on TikTok at all, but I am, and I'm more specifically find myself on skincare TikTok really, really often. I don't know why. I think the TikTok algorithm is like the best in the business, but that's probably because they have somebody like watching everyone through their cameras. I don't know, it's kind of creepy, but anyway, I'm on skincare TikTok for some reason, and everyone is hating on these chapsticks, specifically the moisturizing kind, which I don't understand, because I think these are actually really iconic. I was on Accutane when I was in high school, and while I was on Accutane, I used Aquaphor, which is basically like the less offensive version of petroleum jelly that comes out of the little like canister, that's a bad word for it, the little container, and instead it's a squeeze tube. I have one over here. That's what I'm about to open up with you guys. And I used that for most of the time while I was on Accutane. But in the past, or not in the past, in the last like 2 months of my treatment, I used this. And it actually worked really good as a transition between using something more heavy like Aquaphor and using no chapstick at all, which is what I was used to before I started it. So I really like sorry, my door just, it sounded like there was someone at my door. I'm like, no one's home. No one is home. Creepy. Anyway, I guess I'll talk a little bit about what got me into ASMR in general. So I have been following the ASMR community before it really even had a name. Not to be like the ultimate hipster right now, but it really was something that I kind of stumbled upon, I think in 2010, I want to say. And I think the name ASMR had like just started popping up, and it was so new that people's channel names were just like ASM artist or like ASMR-er. Like, there were so few creators around at that point in time that like you could get away with like really broad channel names, and like it was specific enough back then because there were like no people creating that kind of content. I think my entry into ASMR was in, I want to say, I'm really trying to get my years correct here. I think it was like 2010 or 2011. I think I was in middle school, if I'm not mistaken, and I had just searched up like relaxation or whispering videos, and in general at that point in time YouTube was kind of like the Wild West for content creators and the audience alike. There were not nearly as many rules for content, and finding content was a little bit more difficult. But what YouTube ended up presenting me, and I'm not gonna say their channel name because I don't know if they want any attention at all at this point, but it was somebody doing a read-through of a book that they had written, and they were just whispering, and it was up close like this to the microphone, and it was so nice. I don't know why I was like, nobody's doing this content on the internet. Like, why isn't everyone doing this content? And then lo and behold, like, I think someone in the comment section was like, is this ASMR or something like that, which was so weird because you'd have people saying that now, but like back then that was so rare. Like, I remember telling people in high school especially that I watched ASMR to go to sleep, and they were like, that's so strange, like, you're so weird, like, who would ever do that? And now when I was in college, I would tell people about ASMR and they would be like, oh yeah, me too. And I'd be like, okay, cool, like, we have a little bit of a fan base in real life now. Like, before, do you know how there's some things that you feel like only exist on the internet? Like, there's a ton of people on the internet that enjoy it or follow it or, you know, interact with it in some way, but as hard as you might try, there's nobody in real life that you know that would ever be able to relate to you about whatever it is. That's what ASMR was for me for a really long time, because people would just, and they still kind of do this, but they kind of just are like, that's so creepy, like, it's people whispering into a camera. Like, how is that? How is that relaxing at all? That was quite the swallow. Oops. And I get it, but it's also so interesting, the genre of ASMR. But anyway, to get back to my story, ones, like, do you remember? I think this was in like 2014, 2015, maybe even 2016. But like that was like the era of, maybe 2013 too. That was like the era of like, how do I even describe this? It was a very specific group of YouTubers, but it was a very specific genre also that a lot of people tried to emulate. I'm talking about like the Jack's Gap videos and the whole like British YouTube side of it, like Marcus Butler, and then like the American side, like Tyler Oakley, and like all these creators that were around then, that still are around. Most of them are still making content that is good, and it's really interesting to see how that type of video style has like kind of vanished from the internet. I guess it kind of evolved into like the Emma Chamberlain style vlog. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I feel like the content has just shifted. But the thing about ASMR that's really interesting is that the content hasn't really changed fundamentally. It's just gotten more creative. The quality has gotten higher on a lot of channels, and there's just more people creating, which is super, super, super cool. And I don't think, like I said, that it's ever really gonna go out of style. But relating to that, small YouTubers, I think, are in a really weird position with ASMR, and I don't even think I qualify as a small YouTuber, to be honest with you. But like when I think of small YouTuber, which is crazy to think that the numbers I'm thinking of are small YouTuber, but I think like 100,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Like a big YouTuber has like 10 million subscribers, and a small YouTuber has like 100,000. I don't know when that started happening. I feel like a small YouTuber should be somebody like me with like less than 1,000 subscribers. But I don't know. The whole perception of like internet popularity is so different now than it was like 5 years ago even. But I feel like the bar that has been set on YouTube is really, really interesting, because you have people doing YouTube as a full-time job, and they have a lot of equipment. They sometimes have a team, like, staff that can help them edit their videos. And I feel like as a small creator, not just me, I don't know if I necessarily even feel this myself because I do this more like for fun, but for somebody that's really trying to make something of themselves on YouTube, it can be very difficult to compare yourself to somebody that is making content for a living versus somebody that is making content for fun, or even if they're putting all of their time into it, they're not making any money off of it yet, or at least not substantial money, and they can't have the entire production crew behind their videos, or like the thousands of dollars in equipment in front of them while they record. And that goes back to me talking about the origins of ASMR. I think right now, for me, I've been watching a lot of unintentional ASMR and just a lot of whispering videos. And it's nice to see. I go way back to older videos too, to like lo-fi ASMR and like lo-fi unintentional ASMR. loose ends in that discussion. I don't really know. But I think the moral of this story is that, what is the moral of my story? Do I have a moral to this story? I don't know. Maybe I do. I think the takeaway from all of this is just that, like, content creation can be really, really fulfilling, but it's also kind of a scary endeavor for a lot of people. So you get a whole new perspective when you are behind the camera making the content versus watching the content. It's like a whole different world. I can't even explain it. But I guess to wrap up this video, because I think we're hitting the 30-minute mark, or we're getting close to it, I will be doing, I think, some more, maybe like some get ready with me videos. We'll see what kind of videos I do, but I really enjoy like up close whispering like this to the camera. So I may do some content like that in the future, but in different contexts. Some gum chewing videos, some tapping videos. I play The Sims 4 pretty religiously, so I may do some house building videos or something like that, if that would be fun and interesting. I don't really know. I think stuff like that is kind of relaxing to watch people play video games and to click around on their keyboards and stuff like that. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this little ramble and chit chat, and I look forward to making more content for all of you guys to enjoy. Definitely let me know if you've made it this far in the comments. Let me know what type of content you would like to see from me. I'm always open to suggestions. I'm still figuring out my setup and my lighting. I don't know if the lighting in this video is gonna look crazy or not, but I'm still figuring out everything. I know it's been a while since I started, but you know, things change. And yeah, please let me know what you'd like